Welcome to 54 Golf. I want to start off today's show with...
He is that even keel guy. Nothing's going to bother him. He plays well in the Ryder Cup.
The majors are always the best opportunity to answer that question.
As far as the pros, they should be able to hit that shot. We don't hit the ball as good as them.
You're right in the fact that he's an absolute superstar. And he's just like running to a car to get a granola bar.
Well, I guess 54 Golf. What's going on, guys? Aaron and Chris gave us the keys to the castle today, so they put us in charge. Should be a right to the point then. We're talking about swing thoughts, all right? And being that there's only two of us, so we got to make it last a little bit longer. We'll go from start to finish, from when you get onto the tee, first tee, hole one, what's your swing thought, what's your process, how are you lining up, what are you looking for, and then we'll go right into irons, approach, wedge, putt. Hit us.
When I get on the tee box, if I'm hitting my first shot, my swing thought is fade or draw, depending on what the hole looks like, right? Obviously, what club am I hitting first? Am I hitting a 3-wood? Am I hitting a 5-wood? Am I hitting a driver? Am I hitting an iron? First swing thought is fade or draw. Second swing thought is where do I want to land that fade or draw, and set myself up. That's it. I try not to think too much on the tee box. It's usually just what shot shape, and where I want to land it.
Okay.
What about you on the tee?
All right. So I guess I'll go back with you. So I guess it depends how big the fairway is and thinking fade or draw. So if it's Casper Kill on 10, I'm thinking fade every single time, just because I know it's turning that way. If it's a fairly straight fairway, because it's the first tee, and that's just kind of usually how it is, I'm thinking let's just put it in play. Let's start the day off good. And I guess it depends on if I got a chance to warm up and hit some balls beforehand, which most of the time it's not. Because then I know, like, all right, I'm hitting the driver well, whether it's a fade or whether it's a draw that day. Most of the times it's a fade. I'll just aim slightly left and let that ball come right into it. But I feel like I have the same process from driver, irons, wedge shots, putter. I always start behind the ball. I use my actual club that I'm using as an alignment to, all right, this is where I'm going. This is where I want to be. I kind of sit behind it first, have an idea where the ball, where my start line is, and then I'll get behind the ball. And first tee, it's usually I just want to get it in play. That is my thought process in the first one. Just want to get it in play, start rolling, and get a good feel.
On the first shot of the day, or the first
shot of the day? Yeah, first shot of the day.
Yeah. So mine's a little different throughout the bag. I feel like on tee shots, my thoughts are not. They're very few, right? So it's just my shot shape and go. Irons a little different. It's more. I mean, most people will probably be similar thought process here, but I kind of pick a spot, and I pick, like, if I'm approaching down par 5, trying to set myself up for the third shot, it would be pick a 10-foot window. Am I going to hit that 10-foot? Totally different story. Pick a 10-foot window, aim at that window, kind of know what my irons are doing that day,
right?
And kind of just go. Like I try to keep stuff very minimal.
Absolutely.
Wedge shots, it's all feel for me. Anything under like anything under 100, 110 yards, it's all feel for me. I don't even, honestly, like 60-yard shot, 50-yard shot, I don't even need that. I mean, put the club in my hand and just swing.
So here, we'll go back. We'll continue with the irons for now. Aim small, miss small. I feel like that's your process for it. Have a small window. There's a much smaller chance of missing it at that point in time. Right. I agree with that.
I know this is swing thought rolls into process, right? Like exactly what you do every time. Try to keep it the same. Try to keep routine, muscle memory. But like you said, with putt, it's kind of all the same throughout the bag. My putting is, you kind of just have again, back to routine. Swing thoughts are, is the putt breaking left, the putt breaking right, the uphill, what kind of speed do I need? Those simple things. Just the basic stuff is what I try to keep up here, because as we all know, it's a mental game and it can destroy you by the third hole.
I will say golf is definitely by far the biggest mental game. I feel like I've done a lot of other physical sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, just playing like flag football and things like that. In that nature, is it's much easier to be so physical that like you can pick up speed, you can get hit, things just go different ways. Where golf is such a, you had a bad shot, you either need to recoup, get it together, or just forget about it. Which is, everybody's gonna say forget about that last shot, but it's so much harder to do that than anything else, because that you're playing great, you just birdied the last hole, you get on the tee box, you're like, I'm feeling good, and then you just pull it in the woods. So like it's again that recouping, trying to get back together. Does that? I'm sure that's happened to you before. You have that scenario where you just eagle to par five, or you birdie to par four. You're going to the next tee box. You send one into the woods. What are you thinking at that point in time? What's going through your process after it just went into the woods?
Minimize the damage. Just that's golf. We're not professional. It's hard. It's hard. It's the hardest sport, in my opinion, to consistently play well. Um, you gotta just move on to the next shot, because if you just take it, like, even if you're just off the just maybe in a bush, or you're not in a good spot, but you know what, let me just go for it. I don't want to take the stroke. A lot of times you take your medicine, you take the stroke, you get a better look at it, you put it closer, you make the putt, you only bogey, and you move on to the next hole and try to get a birdie. You got to try to minimize the damage. Um, but I have done that countless times. Birdie and then you double bogey. It just happens. But yeah, I mean, you can't play and you can't approach any hole or any shot different any differently than you would any other hole. For example, if you get a birdie, just put it out of your mind. Birdie, great, put it on the card. That's
I was
it.
giving you my next question. Yeah.
It's a mental game, though. It's tough. I've played with mental head cases who literally, oh, I just watched this YouTube video, and you got to get here, and you got to. I could never ever. I don't practice. I never ever 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 practice. You're a range guy. I couldn't do it. I hate the range. Uh, if we like, if we go to a nice course, I'm gonna hit their range and hit half a bucket of balls. Cool, new experience. If I'm at a really nice course, I'm probably on vacation, or I'm probably on a guy's trip or something like that. I'll hit the range. Other than that, if I'm going to play any local course, I'm just not doing it. Before, the only time I'll hit a range is before a tournament. Other than that, I don't chip in my backyard. I have a net where I hit, on, if it's a nice day, kids at school, and I want to go hit some balls into a net, fine. But it's not something I actively do. Um, so I just keep everything right here. I'm not thinking outside of any, things that I already know.
Okay. So going back to that.
I know you are.
Absolutely.
You're in the middle at least.
No. I'm the complete opposite. I'm a range rat. I mean, it's the same thing. I'm a range rat. I'm a gym rat. Like I enjoy. I'm a person that, like, that's why golf's such a tough sport for me, because I'm always trying to get better, and I feel like there's always an edge that you can be doing, whether it's getting better at putting, getting better at pitching, getting better at your swing, which is the worst one, because there's always something new to try, and it's like, oh, that worked. Let me get that going. Because
I want to speak on that when you're done.
It's not just golf. It's the gym. How can I get better? How can I get stronger? How can I get faster? It's working on stuff at the house. How can I fix this? How can I make it this way? How can I make it that way? It's the same thing with cars. But before we get off topic on that, yes, I will live at the range if I could, because I always want to work on different things. How to hit a low spinner. Why do I need to do that? I'm not a pro. Just bump and run it all day. Like, it works perfectly fine. How to fade the ball, how to draw the ball, how to hit those low stingers, like how to.
But I'm not talking learning new tricks. I'm not talking about learning new shots. I'm not talking about those kind of things. I'm talking about when you say, I constantly want to get better. I want to get better. I want to learn new things. Are you getting better? Or can you use what you already have, not learn new tricks, not learn new things, and just focus on those things that you already do? Because I feel like if you start thinking of too many things, golf is a hard game to come back from. I know a lot of people, and I'm not just saying a lot as a number. I know a lot of people that played competitive high school and college golf and had to stop, not only losing scholarships, not only losing a spot on the team, whatever, but completely losing their golf game because they thought too much and they tried to get they tried to integrate too many things into their golf game, and they went from being a younger amateur golfer who was free swinging and played the game how he knew how to play it to completely trying to be somebody he's not. I'm not saying it's not good to get better and hone in your skills, but is it better? Is it good or positive to your game to constantly learn new things? Like, do you think that helps? Like, oh, okay, I was swinging like this overlap. Now I'm like this because I saw it on YouTube, and now I'm swinging the ball better, the club better. Sure, that's a simple thing. But golf is a wormhole, man. You can go really deep and screw your game up. And I've seen people not be able to come back from it who were better than me, better, good golfers. So it's scary for me to go down that rabbit hole.
It is with well, okay. So someone like you, I feel like you've always had a very natural swing, where you don't make a ton of swing changes. You maybe made a grip change, and that's about it. I feel like it's very simple for you on that. For me, I feel like if you looked at me 10 years ago, I was early extension, weak grip, flipping the club, like everything possible that was in a. If someone was to analyze my swing, I feel like it would have been completely wrong. So that's where I went through one another night, deconstructed my entire swing, worked on like one thing at a time, and then I went through that process. Making sure I wasn't early extending, making sure I wasn't flipping over the club, watching different checkpoints on stuff. And now I'm trying to rip all those off. Now I'm trying to just polish it off where it's not checkpoint, checkpoint, checkpoint. It's just one flow motion. So it's just, all right, back, forth, that's it. But now it's just make solid contact. Make sure I'm squaring up the club, and that's about it. Just be that out
like,
the scenario for it.
I feel like you, Shaq, a couple guys that I know are always trying something new.
Mhm.
I feel like Cheech is a guy who has swung the club the exact same way for as long as I've
Yep.
known him
No
and
swing
never
thoughts.
really changed anything. It's basic and it works. Um, and I kind of veer more towards that just because of all the reasons that I explained. But I mean, maybe you're a testament. Maybe it does work for some. I just feel like exploring too much and reading too much and watching too much can be just as harmful as it is a positive.
I agree. If I stuck to what I had last year and just played that game, or this year, I think I could shoot lower because I'm not tweaking things. I feel like I was tweaking things all the way up until the end of the season, honestly. Um, it's, but there's also other swing thoughts to it as well as in, okay, maybe those aren't the swing thoughts. Maybe the swing thoughts are, we're looking at a par three, we're saying, where's my trouble? And this is more of like course management, I guess. Where's my trouble? There's a greenside bunker just on the front side of it. It's 140 to that greenside bunker. It's 150 to carry it over, and then back is just completely wide open. All right, so let me take like a 150. Let me take a 160 club, pass it over. I'm gonna fly a little bit past the green. Even if it rolls off the green, I could still probably chip from the fringe, or I could just putt from the fringe, and I'm still having a chance to make that par three. Still having a birdie opportunity at that point in time. Um, those swing thoughts as well, and again, I feel like that's more course management than anything else. Is like, where are your trouble zones? Where do you not want to be? Well, I don't want to be right because there's woods on the right side. Left is completely safe. Take those bogeys out of the game just by doing those things. And I feel like I do a lot of that. I'm trying to figure out how to not get a double bogey. Right now, it's really how do I not get a bogey? I feel like at this point where I'm scoring is now I'm more consistently in like the high 80s. It's how do I not get a bogey? How do I get par every single time? And then I feel like for next year, it's probably going to be how can I get more birdies? But right now, it's how do I minimize all the damage in that scenario? What's the best swing thought that's going to carry that over? Is it going deep and just trying to hit the ball as far as I can, or is it hitting a controlled shot?
Makes sense.
Now, swing thoughts over water, are they all the same? You looking at, what is it, on 2 at Apple Greens, hole 10, you got the water, I think it's like 230 to carry, but a lot of the time the wind's coming at you. I mean, I've seen you play it, so I kind of know
I'm
exactly.
always going for that one, no matter
Yes.
what.
I will bail out on that a lot of times.
But you could bail right. You could bail right or left.
I'll bail right.
Easily.
I don't like left because you got the trees on the left. Bailing right, it's pretty wide open. You can still kind of go over everything and not have to worry about it. What are the things in your swing thoughts that deter you from going over things?
So probably weather. If it's raining,
32
Um,
degrees out, snowing.
if it's like a swampy area, I don't know how true this is, if it's a myth or not, but I've always been told when you have a body of water and it's really, really hot and humid, that it tends to pull the ball down into it. I don't know if that's true, but if that's always deterred me, and that's definitely a swing thought. If it's just water, I don't think that. But if it's like a swampy area, similar to like when you go down to like Florida and play in the Everglades type, or some mucky area where we are, that's all going through my head. And then you got, like I said, wind or rain over water. Um, you don't want to put anything in your head that won't allow you to hit a shot as if everything was green, right? So, um, you kind of just got to block out that water and just say, okay, it's 191 yards. It's the same shot as I would hit any other 191-yard shot. And it's really just a mental thing. Again, just block it out, get up there, 191 yards. Okay, I'm gonna hit a 5-iron. Okay, here we go. Get down, swing the club. I had one of the best shots I ever had over water with Cheats in the MGA tournament, the two-man scramble at Ramsey Golf Club. Dude, we had a putt for eagle after the par five. I hit the drive. We had about, I don't even know what it was. It was probably like 210, 212 over water. He hit his, and I think he went either way left or he wasn't near the green. Oh no, he went in the water. He went in the water. And I had to attack the green. I'm like, you know what? Just screw it. Whatever. Like, we could bail left, get up and down for birdie, or we could just try it. And I hit like the perfect 4-iron, landed just into the center of the green, rolled off just off the back. But like, those kind of shots make you feel like, dude, I could have done that on, if there is no water, I could have done it if it just,
Yeah.
so like, you got to have the same mentality. So water doesn't freak me out as much as it maybe used to. It can be intimidating, like if you're into the wind on a par three and you got to just get it over the water to land it on the green, so your distance control has to be right. Usually, you're going to give it an extra 10 yards just to be sure you get over. But things like that, obviously cross your mind as a golfer. But that's it for me. Just block it
You
out.
carry 3 now. We talked about chipping, and and we're completely opposites on these. You are a feel guy, and I am way more of a numbers mechanical. I go here, and I go here. I'm a clock system ish, or I use the
There's
body.
there's
No,
no
absolutely.
wrong way.
I want to
How
talk more
you,
about the feel side of it, as if we're talking to Tiger Woods about taking no divots. But do you just go off a field because that's what you've practiced, and you're like, I see this spot, I'm going to throw the ball at that, just like a baseball, like I'm throwing it to that person, just like that? Or is it
yeah,
you've done it so many?
a little bit of both probably. When I chip, I I can keep I can close the face by keeping my hands way forward. I can use the loft by keeping my hands center, and I can open the loft and make a little higher landing softer shot by pulling my hands back. With that being said, I kind of know the angle of the club and what kind of shot I want to hit, how far it'll go. That's how I see it. It's all feel, because if I if I want a bump and run that's 30 feet up a hill, I know I'm gonna close the face and I'm gonna chop down at it. It's gonna go low, but once it hits the green, it's gonna check up and maybe roll out another 2 feet, 3 feet. So if I know how far I've got, I know where to land it to get that extra little roll and to make it stop. It's just from so many years of doing it. Um, yeah, I feel like I don't want to say 100 yards, because 100 yards I usually use like a full. Um, I'll probably hit a full 54. Um, but I say anything like 90 and under would just be a field shot for me. Especially those 40 to 60 yards. That's like all. You just got to know
I
what
feel
you're
like
doing.
I feel like 75 in is a tough, because you can't just say, oh, that's my. I mean, you could probably use a 60, but that's about it. But it's a tough range where you could use a pitching line, you could use a 9-iron, you could use a 56, you could use a 50, and you can play
Again,
that.
it's the shot you want to play.
Yeah, it's how high do I want that ball going. I This year was for me. I had a lot of fun. I worked on chipping. That was like the biggest thing that I was really focusing on. different trajectories. I want the low ones, I want really low ones, and then if I want to hit a high one, I just go back to my stock setup shot, and then I'll just swing it. But
Can't remember. Were you one of the guys in our group that does the 8-iron around the green or no?
yeah, for
You
I
like
will
that
pull that
a
out.
little low?
Why? Yep. If it's depending on the lie, if I'm close to the just like up against the apron and I don't feel like I can get the putter behind it, or if I don't want to pull the 56 out, or if I don't want to play the 58 at that point in time. I worked on bump and runs all last year. So it was just a 8 or a 7-iron, and I think we were at Dinsmore. I hold one out at that point in time, but it was a nice thing to have in the bag. Just like you don't like the lie, you don't feel comfortable with it, you feel like you're gonna get the yips at that point in time. It's so much easier to just put an 8 or 7-iron behind it and just hit it like a putting stroke.
You know, that's like that. I never understood it. I get it. I get why people do it. I feel like I don't have feel anymore. I talk about feel. I feel like if I don't have a wedge in my hand, now I don't have the feel because the 8-iron for me goes 160, 165 yards. That's my 8-iron. That's how I know my 8-iron, right?
Wait, are we
So
talking about dipping? Like I'm talking about right around the
yes,
green.
yes. No, that I'm getting that. That's how I see my 8-iron. When I put an 8-iron behind the ball on a, I don't know, 35, 45, 55 yard shot, foot shot, excuse me, around the green where I need to bump it and run it, I just can't. I don't know how that's going to come off because I don't practice those shots. I don't know how is the ball going to just die or is it going to shoot across the green and now I'm screwing myself. I feel like if I have a wedge in my hand, I'm getting that ball in a 4-foot circle every time. Again, think that 9 out of 10, I'm getting in a 4-foot circle where I don't know if that's going to happen with a 50 foot, 45 foot, whatever shot with an 8-iron bump and run. So that's why
So
I've done it before, but it's not something that I would ever use in my arsenal.
So I feel like I practiced one. New for me, it was more of my 7-iron. It's a 7-iron. So when I go work on my short game, it's 7-iron, 56, and now it's a 60, but it used to be a 58 for the longest time. So I'd always bring those three clubs. Castrill's got a great setup for it because they have their own pitching green. I just drop balls, and I'll work on the 56 first, do everything I do with it. Ball towards the back, ball towards the front, ball in the center stands, work on stuff like that, see what the distance control is for a 50-yard shot, and then I'll go take the 7-iron. And then I'll go set up 35, 45 feet and just see what it looks like. See how long it's going. I like to play it off the toe of the actual head, so it's much softer and it's more dead when it comes out. So it's always hitting in that same spot. And to me, it's almost like a putting stroke almost. It's very close, like the club head is very close to my feet, and it's just kind of back and forth, and just make sure you go through it, see what it looks like. If I don't like the way it's rolling, I'm not going to be using it. If I feel like I can consistently, it's just a feel thing. It's the exact same thing. If your same shot, when it's going from here to here, like your backstroke to your forward stroke, it's going the same distance over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing as a low chip shot, because what I'm getting at it is it's on a straight line, and it's more lie dependent than anything else, because if I have a bad lie and I don't feel comfortable taking that wedge out, I know I'm going to make solid contact with that normal 7-iron. But it's going to hit the ground, and if it runs past the hole, I at least got to read at it so I know what it's going to look like. It's not going to go blazing past it for any reason. It's not something I'm just bringing out there just to try out to see what's going on. It's something I practice over and over to get that feel for it. But I do think you got to have one of those. I feel like and of course, that's my personal opinion for it, because if I don't like that lie and I don't feel like pulling out my 56 or my 60 at this point in time, because it doesn't look good, I'm just going to take that. I'm just going to sweep over it, and I'm just going to get a quick up and down. All right. Probably your favorite one. Putting.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay calm putting, or do you not stay calm putting? There's a million things going on in the head of yours. Who knows? What's your process? Do you walk the green? Do you walk past the green? Do you check out the side of the slope? Do you count them off? Or do you just say, there's the pin?
I
Of
look,
course, we do
I
this.
mark my ball. I look at the pin. I go to
Yep.
the back side of the pin. I make sure what I'm seeing from the front mimics what I'm seeing from the back, and basically just again comes down to feel distance wise with my putter. feel like I've gotten really good with distance control on my putter. As long as my line is good, Lab does the rest of it. And yeah, very, very
No,
simple, very, very basic. I always had a lot of thoughts, swing thoughts, and all these different thoughts in my head in golf, and it never fared me well. So I've, that's all gone, very few head thoughts.
um,
You, on the other
when
hand,
you
you dance around that whole green, man. It's fine because it works
absolutely,
for you. You're putting really well, but you get every angle. You get the what's that thing? The protractor out, and you really try to figure out what's going on before you let
they
that
make
club hit
these
the
little
ball.
they make these little levelers now. I've seen them. I mean, it's illegal to use,
Yep.
but
The
they make them
marker,
that you can
yeah,
bring
it
out,
tells you which way.
and they
Yeah.
just you can snap them back with your putter. I thought about bringing a leveler out to like a practice putting green just to like get used to the
Dude,
slopes. But I haven't
oh
gotten to that point yet.
no, come on.
Listen, biggest putting change for me was Aimpoint. It really was. Um, I feel like that to me, it was a confidence thing. It was nothing else than that. Because I'd be the first person. If you took away that, if I'm not figuring it out, I can't read greens. I'll be the first person. I'm still working on it, trying to figure out what's the best way to read greens, whether it's sloping left or sloping right. Without me standing on it, I can't, unless it's a blatant one that you can be like, no, this one's turning left. I struggle with that, and I struggle with how far out to put it.
And
Aim
I and
point,
and
not
no, you'll agree with me here. How many times we've been out and I try to do that just to see what you're feeling, and you're like, yeah, I feel the ground's lower on the left side, and I do it, and I'm like, oh, ground a little lower on my right side. Like I would never be able to do. I feel like I have one shoe on, one shoe off every time I try to do it. Um,
I don't
like
understand.
having
But
a
you
more
made those
steady,
putts, and you're
like
like, all right, I'm gonna go with it. You made those putts.
yeah, I I can never do the aim point, but I'm happy it works for you. And somebody who's been golfing with you now for years, there is 100% a difference in in your putting. It has worked for you. You're making more putts than I've ever seen you make before. You're more confident with the putter. Yes, you got a new putter, and that new putter fares you well, gives you confidence as well. But aim point, it works for you. I could never, ever, 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 ever do it. It just doesn't work for me. I always read the opposite of what you're reading. So wild.
I will say, from um, um, from a swing side of things, we are two completely different players. And
100%.
I have a lot more processes for mine than you do for yours. And
100%.
hitting the ball, what I want to do, where it goes, how things work is definitely. I feel like from putters to wedges, like yeah, because putters were completely different one, wedges were completely different one. I'm more of a. I feel like you're more of a hands guy, and I'm more of a body rotation guy.
It's a beautiful
For
thing,
me, it's
though,
just
man.
making
That's what golf's
progress.
about.
It's crazy. It is.
Like, I
It's
feel like
nuts.
golf is unlike any other sport in that way. Like, you have your own quirks. Everybody reads differently. Everybody swings differently. Uh, everybody gets through their 18-hole round completely differently than the next guy. Some are slow playing. Some are super quick. Need to just get up and hit the ball. It's an amazing sport. It really is. But it's also tough. It's also tough.
The golf ball does not care how the swing looks, what the swing looks like, what the process is. As long as that head hits the back of the ball, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some of the guys that we just played with recently, they have the craziest swings. Like that one guy that had to leave early, he was just smashing the ball, and he had the most compact swing. And he was saying like almost 300 yards. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Um, are there any swing thoughts that you'll look at or try or anything like that that you brought to the course? Whether you watched it on a video or someone was like, "Hey, you should try this," or "Hey, you should try that." Is there anything like that that you've done?
The only switch I've made in my swing in 20 years is interlock. For many, 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 many years, most of my career, from 7 years old all the way till uh, probably almost 30, I had a baseball swing where I just took these two and put them right together, like I would hit with a baseball bat, and swung like that. Now I can't even go back to that. It just doesn't feel comfortable. But for the longest time, I would try the Jim Furyk, which is kind of just laying your pinky overlap on
Yeah.
top, but not in between, but just sitting on top. I
And
did
like
that for a little bit. I said, okay, this I could get on with that. Had a couple bad rounds. Said, I don't know about that. Then everybody's doing this. I said, this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? I think it's called the Varden grip. And I got into it and I started swinging a little bit. I had no control. All right, let me stick with it. Let me stick with it. Now you feel like you actually have control, right? Like you're part of the golf club.
yeah.
And it makes a massive difference. That's the only switch I've had in my golf game, swing wise, in 20 years, and it's been awesome. My scores have gotten lower. I feel like I'm playing better golf. Little things like that, but I don't bring anything. I watch a lot of YouTube golf, but I take nothing of what there's no like swing mechanic, do this, do that, try this type stuff. It's just strictly, YouTube golf. I don't bring anything into my game.
So golf round's over. Whether you shot a 69, a 73, or a 79, you're looking at your scorecard. You finished the round. Are there swing thoughts at that point in time? We're not really calling them swing thoughts at that point in time, but are there thoughts that you're like, I could have done this, I could have done that, I should have done this, I shouldn't have went for this one.
That way after a golf round, no matter what your score was, you're not human. Everybody has, like, oh man, on that part, I left some out there. That's like everybody says that. A putt, rings the hole and does a 360 around the hole. That could have dropped. It could have been a birdie. The ball hit the side of the hill, rolled back into the water. You could have took that one extra shot. You were tossed between a 7 and an 8, but you went with the 8. Should have went with the 7. You have to think that way. Doesn't matter what you shoot. I'm sure the pros do it. I'm sure amateurs do it. It's just part of golf.
I'll probably play maybe 2 or 3 times this season over there just to keep the swing going. Otherwise, hopefully we get it. It's supposed to be like 55 out on Friday. Maybe I'll swing a couple around. Nah, probably not. I'm working.
Is it really?
Yeah. All right. You got any thoughts on swing thoughts? You got any more thoughts on swing thoughts?
No, I got nothing. Just go out and play, have fun,
right.
shoot low scores, drink with your buddies. That's it. That's the only swing thoughts
Try
I
not
got.
to think much.
How much am I going to drink today?
I wish I could turn my brain off. That's that. All right. I need your best Chris Peterson send off. Come on. Come on.
If you like today's video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome videos. We try to post once a week. We love you guys. We appreciate anybody that listens, even the negative haters. We love you. Keep commenting down below. You're only doing a disservice to yourself and a service to us. We love you guys.
And what are your swing thoughts? Do you have too many like me? Are you a thinker that's constantly going on everything? From the tee to the water to are my feet too far apart? Are my feet too close together? Are my eyes too close together?
Your eyes are too close together, man. That's just the birth
defect. What it is. That's how I read green so well.
Yeah, you don't. You need to use your feet to read them. Yeah, tell us in the comments what your swing thoughts are, if any.
Or how you got rid of your swing thoughts, because I could also use that advice. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.